mbukeli uhlelo lethu siliqala ngeindaba ezibuhlungu zokwedlula emhlabeni komuntu oyedwa oshone ngemva kwesigameko sokuqephuka komgwaqo omatasa osetshenziswa amatekisi kakhulu enkabeni yedolobha iGoli engathi angaphumula kahle. Silana phe mbukeli sizokwethula uhlelo lakho kulwinqa izivele Ekhaya Jikelele. Yazi nje ngisakhuluma ngeyamatekisi mbukeli hey ngibazi kahle abashayeli abadlali uye uthi uyagibela etekisini isivalo vele singavuleki. Athi udriver sisivule ngathi uyasidonsa usiphusha sakuzivala. Uthi uyazivula kanjalo sivele siwele phansi athi sibuyisele we hayi ke sokuphathela konke okwenzeka izemidlalo ezomnotho ehamba phambili njalo angihambe ngedwa ngihamba nomadlongothi ukholoso wako lobisi unonkanyezi.
Yes, right.
You're right girl.
Hayi kalokusana ayicace ilonto lathi thilaphuma ilanga kanye ngalemini yamashumi amabini kweyekhala labe lilunywa liqoshalazi igqiyazana lasematolweni benqisha benqunqa sathi singqezweni lomoya zaqhuma inqawe emaqhegweni ndaphuma kwesesiboleko sikabhanekazi ndembethe ewe kaloku ndingumntwana wesingxobo xwaye uqanduva leminyanya happy zalwa day kum ngalomazi ke ndithi khulani zobhatyi ninyenyisa umbhinqo soze nikhonkothwe nazizinja kusekhaya apha ekhaya Jikelele kuninzi ke siniphathele kona njengasiqhelo yiway wethu mosleyo ndimleke ukhalosa kalubisi kwindaba ephendula ekuphumleni bathi ngunonkanyezi umadlengothi mamshukumu unqenqela imiqhaka engazuyifakwa hayi ke masisitshaye ziqhuma eza namhlanje.
Shone umuntu oyedwa esigamekweni esenzeke izolo kuqephuka umgwaqo emgwaqweni omatasa uBri eGoli.
President Ramaphosa has, over the last couple of months and weeks, held several consultations on South Africa's hosting of the BRICS summit next month.
Kuqinisekisiwe ngokusemthethweni ukuba umongameli waseRussia uVladimir Putin soza izimasi ingqungquthela yeBRICS eququzelelwe nguMzantsi Afrika kwinyanga ezayo.
Luchani nginguleno sigusheshelo umhajo ikwekwez FM emthonjeni 9 to 12 siyakwamukela ehleleni elitsha likamabonakude lendaba ezinabileko Ekhaya Jikelele sikhamba nawe nomsebenzini uchinge esikoleni konke okuhloka kuyokuthola zamba nje siphuma phambili indaba siqahe ngezemidlalo ubujamo bezulu ukuthi nawuphuma ekhaya wazi ukuthi umbathe njani konke okuhloka ngelimi oluzwisisako la ku SABC News.
Sidlule nomphefumulo womuntu oyedwa isigameko sokuqhuma okwenzeke emathunjini omgwaqo iBri enkabeni yedolobha iGoli okwenzeke izolo kusihlwa okwamanje ke embukeli ayikahlonzo embangela lesi sigameko sokuqhuma kanti kuholele ekutheni amatekisi nezimoto kulala amankenyane undunankulu esifundazweni iGauteng uPanyaza Lesufi uthi iminyango yahlukahlukene kahulumeni isebenza ngokubambisana uxazulula lesehlakalo.
We can confirm that 9 people were rescued from here with injuries, and the 9 have been dispatched to various hospitals around the area. Our teams are searching strategic areas, especially going up there. They are of the view that there's something that needs to be confirmed before they can release additional information. But they are also trying very hard to check the neighboring buildings, and that is why they are asking us to leave the area because the impact at this present moment it's not determined.
Our cables run under that road. We do have underground tunnels. If you remember, last year we had fires, but not on this stretch, but the other stretch on the upper part of the city of Johannesburg towards the west. So we do have underground tunnels where our cables are running, but parallel to our cables, we also have gas pipes from Egoli gas, but also water pipes that are also running parallel electricity cables. And further up towards the towards the north of that street, we've got a substation, what we call pre-substation. Our substation that supplies electricity to most part of the inner city, the businesses and the residential areas in the inner city, is also further up that area. So our teams of engineers and technicians are basically, probably they've arrived on site now to basically assess the extent of the damage, if any, and if there are any disruptions in terms of electricity supply.
We are all concerned with what has happened, but obviously a thorough investigation is needed to make sure that we get the cause of what has happened. But I must say, in my personal capacity also, that it can't be a coincidence that we've had the same gas explosion in Ekhaya, and now it's happening here, and both of them, obviously, we are experiencing the same thing of illegal mining. But I'm not saying that is the cause. The investigation will tell us what the cause of the gas explosion is.
Bree Street in the Johannesburg inner city that has collapsed, supposedly due to an underground gas explosion, but that needs to be confirmed. At the present moment, Bree Street is closed off and it is damaged from Simmons heading towards the east of the CBD. And we've also seen that there's minibus taxis who were caught in that stretch of the road when it collapsed, and it's about approximately 20 minibus taxis were still stuck there. At the present moment, there's EMS, which is Emergency Management Services, and JMPD, just assessing the extent of the damage and also to check if there are any injuries, and that has not been confirmed at this present moment.
Know that during the process of that incident, there was a taxi which was mainly affected along Bree, which is suspected to have maybe about 16 people who were inside the taxi. So out of that taxi, we don't know as yet as to how many people might have been injured and also as to how many might have lost their lives in this incident.
I'm residing here at Brisk Place. As I was just approaching this direction to open the door, because they have set a new setup of a security system for entrance, you have to press. Unfortunately, I could not because of the weight of the glass door. Yeah. So the other guy was opening for me. Then the next thing I hear bang. When I just look on my back after the bang, I thought it was something like a car accident or I don't know, but it was a very big bang. Then when I look, I just saw this taxi coming towards my back direction. Then the next thing, when I look, I saw just the road splitting like this, like there is a volcano coming down, splitting the road.
Umengameli wezwe laseRussia uVladimir Putin ngeke esawuhambela umhlangano wamazwe eBRICS ozosingathwa eGauteng ngasekupheleni kwenyanga ezayo. Lesi sinqumo sethule emahlombe umthwalo kahulumeni waseNingizimu Afrika obekacaca ukuthi uzokwazi noma cha ukumbopha uma kwenzeka itheleka kuleli ngokulandela umyalelo wenkantolo yomhlaba iInternational Criminal Court.
Emini namhlanje ihhovisi likaMengameli wezwe likhiphe istatement eliqinisekisa ukuthi uMengameli waseRussia ngeke saba ingxenye yoMengameli bamazwe eBRICS abazokwethamela ingqungquthela bukhoma eGoli ngenyanga ezayo. Kunalokho uPutin usezothumela ongungqongqoshe omnyango wezangaphandle kwelaseRussia uSergey Lavrov.
The summit will be attended by the leaders of Brazil, China, India, and South Africa. By mutual agreement between all BRICS member states, President Putin will not be attending the summit.
IDA ibisifake enkantolo uhulumeni ngenhloso yokumphoqa ukuthi kuboshwe uPutin uma kwenzeka efika kuleli. Umholi weqembu uthi basaqhubeka nalolu daba enkantolo ephakeme eGoli noluzolalelwa ngoLwesihlanu.
The Democratic Alliance firmly believes that no one, regardless of their position, should be above the law. Our commitment to the principles of justice, accountability, and adherence to international treaties has won the day against the ANC and their Russian ally.
Bonke labo abangomengameli bamazwe angaphansi kweBRICS ongowaseBrazil neIndia kanjalo nowaseNingizimu Afrika bazowethamela bukhoma lo mhlangano weinsuku ezintathu ozoqala mhla zingama-22 ngenyanga ezayo eSandton eGoli.
Mbukele ake sibheke ukuthi kumi kanjani kwezomnotho beluphezulu uhwebo lerandi emakethe. Irandi libiza u-17.96 edoleni lasemelika libe u-23.12 kupondo kanti lingu-20.10 ku-euro. Ipula laseBotswana libiza u-1.36. eJohannesburg Stock Exchange kuvalwe inkomba yezabelo yehlile. Igolide libiza $1,973 i-ounce, iplatinum yona ibiza $978 i-ounce, uwayela ongahluziwe ubiza $80.37 umphongolo. Njengamanje ke mbukela sithi qu $8 sizobuya emva komzuzwana.
Qiniseka mbukeli awuyindawo kuninzi esikuphathele kona, siyabuya emva kwentengiso.
Sibile sikwamukele mbukeli Ekhaya Jikelele. Mbukeli mangabe siqhubekela phambili, iDemocratic Alliance iphawulile ke nayo ngodaba lika Putin lokuthi akasezi lapha eNingizimu Afrika.
The Democratic Alliance firmly believes that no one, regardless of their position, should be above the law. Our commitment to the principles of justice, accountability, and adherence to international treaties has won the day against the ANC and their Russian ally. South Africa's reputation on the international stage and its commitment to upholding the rule of law were at stake in this matter. By standing firm on the need to adhere to our obligations under the Rome Statute and other international conventions, we have demonstrated our unwavering dedication to justice and human rights. The DA's victory in this matter also safeguards our country's economic interests. The DA is resolute in our stance that the South African government must not compromise its duty to uphold international law for the sake of political alliances or the ANC's narrow financial interests. We believe that by adhering to our treaty obligations and respecting the principles of international law, we can create a more just, equitable, and respected South Africa. We thank all South Africans who have supported us in this endeavour and stand together with our fellow citizens in our commitment to a better, fairer, and more transparent nation. Getting Vladimir Putin to bend the knee before the rule of law is no small feat, and the DA's victory to keep him out of our country is a victory that should be celebrated by all of South Africa.
Alizange lisaleke ngaphandle neqembu elibusayo iAfrican National Congress ngodaba oluthinta umengameli waseRussia uVladimir Putin. Izolo phela mbukeli kuvele indaba zokuthi angeke aseza alibhade lapha ezweni eNingizimu Afrika engqungqutheleni yeBRICS.
The ANC has noted and welcomed the mutual agreement by President Ramaphosa, President of South Africa, together with the Russian President, President Putin, on his non-attendance to the upcoming BRICS summit in August. This has been done by mutual agreement. We acknowledge this and we welcome finally putting and laying that matter to rest in order for us and the developing countries to focus on the pressing issues of the day, dealing with poverty, dealing with unemployment, and fighting for a just, humane, and fair society. We still welcome the fact that the Russian Federation will be represented by the foreign minister and, of course, the diplomats that are based in South Africa.
To some extent, South Africa as they are, as the status quo, and it does not create a much bigger crisis where South Africa is put in opposition with Western countries, it's not put in opposition to its own legal system. So at the end of the day, it is something we've been already expecting for some time, but it's certainly very important that now we have the official confirmation from both governments that Vladimir Putin will not be coming to South Africa in August.
Enkosi ngokuhlala nathi nisasibukele kaloku apha ekhaya Jikelele kwinkqubo ndaba yakho uDTT. Niyawuqonda nikhumbule kaloku into yokubana ekhaya Jikelele siyathanda into yokubana sibone imisebenzi eniyenzayo ukuze kaloku kuphuhliseke isakhono senu. Namhlanje ke apha estudio sindwendwelwa nguThabanke Kane kunye noHillary Matluha abasuka pha kwelaseMpumalanga baye baguqula ke uthando lwabo lefashoni benza kaloku impumelelo brand yabo abayibiza ngokuba Ekhaya Lifestyle Apparel neyasungulwa ke ngonyaka ka2019 ngethuba kaloku iqeleku leCovid-19 laliqhaphaza uMzantsi Afrika. Nawuqonda nikhumbule kaloku into yokubana ngelo xesha kwakunzima kakhulu abantu abaninzi baye bavaleleke emisebenzini kodwa bona baqonda into yokubana bazawuzivuka bazivuthulule baqala elishishini labo. Bakhona ke apha enkqubeni sawuncokola banzi ngalomsebenzi abawenzayo benza ke hoodies, shirts, bhulukhwe ndibala ntoni na. Masinibulise sinamkele Ekhaya Jikelele as Ekhaya Lifestyle.
Hi sis. Hi sis kunjani siyabonga ukuba
Nam siyavuya bathi sibe khona. Khani sixelele banzi ngomsebenzi eniwenzayo niyathi into yokubana niqale ngethuba apho abantu abaninzi baye balahlekelwa imisebenzi bengenamali kunzima nina nabona bamaliqale elishishini. What was the whole inspiration and idea yasuka njani?
Initially kahle saqala senza ama events. Where events people and then kwenze ukuthi sekufika ucorona ke yonke into iyavaleka nathi imali ayisangeni ingasuku ingaphana ngapha. So we saw an opportunity to know what's in demand, it's masks. Let's try to do masks and then we print them and we brand them and see how the people respond. Then from lapho saqala ke sathengisa ama masks of which corona was the key thing there, and then as the country went on iqala ivula kancane that's when we started to branch on to other clothing things because we've always had the love for fashion personally. So we just decided, no, let's go into fashion and go broad.
Uyathi lokubana niye naqala ngemasks and abantu abaninzi babebonakala into yokubana wonke umuntu uthengisa imask sanitizers yonke lonto but eyona nto esibona into yobana yasilela is remaining consistent. Abantu abaninzi nqinisekile umuntu wayene business ngo2019 na ngo2020 wayivala because waqonda ba okay seyiphelile mhlambi iCovid okanye idemand ayisekho but kuni ungathi into nimhlambe eyanenza into yokubana nibe consistent kuna namhlanje nisaqhuba from that COVID-19?
As njengoba usho ukuthi iCovid iyafika. So now isithole sithengisa what is needed most ngeCovid which is masks. So people responded positively kuma mask and then sakhula nje kanjalo slow sithengisa ama mask. So that's how we started to see ukuthi singa sustain kanjani business. So okay ama mask ayahamba imali yangena and then so we can
Iphethe lo mali angithandi imali. Aniphathanga.
Hayi imali asiphathanga.
Hanza ngiqoqa kaloku mina.
Yabona so yeah ama mask asiza to grow the business. We didn't just chow money but then sabon opportunity to okay we can venture into t-shirts and all that since people respond positively with my mask. Then that's how we go.
Yes, and abantu they venture into branding njengokuba nisenzile nani babhala imibhalo bathini zizikipa zishirts zihoodies njalo njalo but ungathi mhlambe yintoni enisetha apart from all the different brands?
More than anything I think first of all you must love into oyenzayo. So passion plays iphathe enkulu kuleyo ndawo leyo. So as long as you're doing it for uthando ukwazi ukuqhubeka. It's not just about the accolades but mawulokuthi uthanda into oyenzayo ukhona ukuqhubeka. Then even the love esithola from ebantwini the response into inande is pusher inspires us with no we need to do more, we can go further, let's do yabona into esinceda ukuthi siloko push ama boundaries because you're not even ending here, we're not just clothing. Maybe you'll see us in jewelry next time. You never know.
Yeah. And speaking of support, we know that especially, thina singabantu abamnyama into yokubana ikhona lanto yongaxhasani, especially if you are starting out your business. Umntu mhlambe usaposta ko WhatsApp into yokuba yo please support. Ufumanisa into yokubana ababantu abekwi circle yakho abakusupport mhlambe usupportwa ngabantu ongabaziyo. So speaking of izinto ezifana ne-funding and siyazi mhlambe nohulumente kwezinye indawo ake anikeze igalelo lokuba ansupport. Do you think enough support iyanikezwa kubantu who are starting off and also kwi local brands?
Yeah, sicabanga ukuthi njengoba sisho ukuthi siqale ngama events, so people responded positively to our events, and then going forward when we introduced a brand as Ekhaya lifestyle apparel, people continued to respond positively to the brand, and then by that sabona ukuthi okay, no, siyakhula and people are supporting us. Inkathi ziyashintsha. So people are now coming into this idea of local brands. You understand? Yes. So the support is okay for now. It's going somewhere. Siyabona ukuthi siyaphi phambili, and then people are really supporting. Must touch the government part and fundings. If you're gonna wait for that, we're not gonna start, or we're not gonna go forward. We understand. So ngcono lezinto lezo zisithole sesiqalile sihamba siya phambili, and then the rest shall follow.
Yeah, and I mean, you speak a lot about abantu receiving your brand, be supporter. Ingaba mhlambe nisebenzisa AP strategy yokumarket ibrand yenu, because ingathi jonga na ngoku nilinde iclients orders igcwele.
More than anything, let's go in social media. Yes. Social media makes our lives much easier, because you find it, maybe you even have day jobs, but social media you can continue to promote izinto. Another thing is we try to communicate nabantu we community. We associate nabantu bama community development. Recently in June 16 we're in a project by Asiba Koliseni, which is a youth tournament that went on for 3 days. We were there sponsoring the tournament, and people were also supporting there. So just being in touch nabantu, staying in touch ne culture abantu, what's in, what they want, what they'd like to receive, and listening to the people what they want. And then that's how we just give back. Basically, yeah, it's just a communication between us and us delivering.
Amazing. And as yaqonda into yokubana yena thetha earlier on into yokubana abantu bayanisupporta, and we are seeing a rise, especially kubantu abatsha. They are starting off amashishini wabo. Ndiyakhumbula nje just few years back abanye abantu mhlawumbe ufumanise ubana banenhloni umuntu uqala, ufumanise into yokubana omnye yes ufundile utheni but akukho misebenzi. Do you think entrepreneurship is the future, especially ngoku sikwinyanga kaJuly apho kukhuthazwa uluntu ngoko onga imali? Nani mosinisebatsha okanye nithele ngeze uthola ukuthi umzimba uthi umtsha kanti age yonyukile. Do you think black entrepreneurship is the future, and sendisho nabantu abatsha bangazibandakanya njani into yokubana nabo umuntu asukume noba mhlambe uyasebenza but ube ne side hustle? How important is that?
Yeah, into le ibaluleke kakhulu, because looking at the economy we live in right now, izinto are very expensive, we understand. So you must just find what you love and try to push as much as you can, so that you can in the middle of trying to what do I say? In the middle of trying to do what you love, also get something from what you love. We understand. So yeah, kubalulekile ukuthi abantu abasha ba venture into business. Just find what you love and continue with it. The rest will follow.
And then ndifuna ukuza kumba we black tax, you know, asikwazi uyibalekela singabantu abamnyama ukuthi I black tax into ekhona. Ufumanisa, I mean, from a tender age, as umntana mhlambe, you know, in a black family uyakhuliswa uqonda bano xa sokhulile funeka ubuye ekhaya uthini. Would you say that mhlambe I black tax iya contributor kubuntu okanye it hinders abantu abamnyama? Is it a must, or you know what, phumelela uzenzele ngokunokwakho?
It depends ukuthi uyibuka kanjani le black tax. It can come in different ways. To others, maybe for instance, it can be a hinder. Okay, I must start doing this at home. And then to us, for me, it's an extra motivation for me to push harder, because I know, okay, as much as I call it back tax, but these people are my family, and somehow now I must just try to give back to them. So in a way, inga pusha, inga kindara, but yes, it's something that's there. We can't avoid it, like you said.
And when I mean, how can we make sure that black tax we same message into yokubana kuya ngokuba uyijonga njani, kuye it's a motivation yokuba no ndifuna ukubuyisela ekhaya kuba kaloku kulapho ndikhule khona sendinje nje kungenxa yekhaya lami. So how can we use that to empower ourselves to make sure that ayisihindarishi emva, like senditsho ndifuna nje ushare ngokwezezimali into yokubana okay, this is how much you are earning, this this is how much you should be maybe contributing mhlambe in percentage ekhaya.
Yes. Njengoba usho ukuthi this is how much you are getting, and then when I was divide okay mhlambe ekhaya, for instance, you've got 2 siblings that are still at school, for instance. In a way, njengoba shile upartner wami ngapha ukuthi kuzodepend ukuthi uyibheka kanjani. If now you have 2 siblings, for instance, you must just not give them money, but also teach them how to make money. You understand? That's also a success yakho uyayishare with them so that they can also be successful. And then into lezo yehlisa ukuthi nawe amahlombo akho ayehle kancane kuthini ucontribute, because if you are all successful as siblings and kuyimo bancedile, and then we'll contribute towards maintaining the family as a whole.
Into ethi kuzoba ne generational wealth ezorun up efamilini. Amazing. And I'm sure into mhlawumbe nani enifuna creator as entrepreneurs. So xa sijonga kwi future projects njengoko niye nathi into kubana nine passion for fashion ne style. Kwi future projects ngabe mhlawumbe nijonge phi kwaye nizibone niphi?
Soon now manje ngisho njengoba siphuma winter, so launch a summer range yethu. Sometime in August we're launching our summer range, so we're trying to focus more on summer, and then we are trying to build on which is nestolo, or our next thing now is just to try to get an online shop.
Okay,
establish an online presence with okay, people can just buy directly ngasa Izindaba with WhatsApp order and all that. So there's sooner, and then we move forward to the direction of getting a store.
Oh yes.
Yes, and then once you can get an established house, and then things will start moving from there.
It's coming. Yes. Yes. And then abantu banganifuna manaphi mhlambe xa befuna ukunilandela, bafuna ukunisupporta, or other brands esifuna mhlambe ucollaborator nani?
Okay, at our social media handles on Instagram, it's Ekhaya_lifestyle. Facebook, it's Ekhaya Lifestyle. And there's our WhatsApp number, which is 076-417-1336.
And for partnerisha nathi because Ekhaya Jikelele. Ekhaya Jikelele, Ekhaya Lifestyle. Masibambe ngazibini ngexesha lenu kwaye sinifisela konke okuhle. Anga inkomo zenu zingazala amaduna namadunakazi ngesixhosa siyatsho ke kwande apho nithatha khona. Le kepu seyi1 ibe zikepu sezininzi.
Siyabonga siyabonga sibulela kakhulu.
Ngatsho. Right, mbukeli wami sisaqhubha kaloku si Ekhaya Jikelele uqinisekisa into yokubana wena apha ekhaya uyakhuthazeka besinoma somashishini ke abasuka pha eMpumalanga abazingcayo ngeshishini labo. Ngoku mbukeli masithi qhwi pha kuNoxi asive kuye ke into yokubana athina mabali.
Ngibonge ukukholosa mbukeli sike sakubikela ke udaba olubhlungu lokwedlula ke emhlabeni komuntu oyedwa njengoba kube nesigameko sokuqebhwa komgwaqo emgwaqweni omatasa uBri eGoli. iSABC ke ijube intatheli yayo umbalenhle kwaMthethwa kanti ke thina lapha ekhaya lakho sixhumana naye bukhoma ke esenkabeni yedolobha. Mbali sikubingelele asikwamukele ohlelweni Ekhaya Jikelele.
Ngiyabonga kuba nani uma nginikhombisa nje la ngikhona ngilana eMary Fitzgerald Square lapho kuzoba khona i-media briefing lapho sizothola khona ulwazi lokuthi abasebenzayo nje kulesigameko ngaphambi kwalesigameko ukuthi sebesebenze bafikaphi abangakho abantu mhlambe abatholakala belimele njengoba sesizwile ukuthi uyedwa umuntu oselahlekelwe impilo yakhe. Siyazi ukuthi bakhona abawu12 mhlambe ababalo ukuthi balimele futhi kwafanele baphuthunyiswe bamikise ibhedlela eziseduzane nakhona la eGoli. Waphinda futhi kwalimala nezimoto ezicishe zidlule u20 izimoto eziningi elimalile izimoto ezingamatekisi. Osomatekisi khona bagqimeke ingozi enkulu ngoba lamatekisi lawa ayasebenza ukuze athatha abantu ababeke. Siphinde futhi saya khona lapha yana eBritex rank lapho esibona khona amatekisi amaningi ejwayele ukufikela khona. Asibona nje ukuthi mhlambe isimo sinjani nokuthi mhlambe akukho akukho yini okuphazamiseka kweinhlelo zokusebenza sabona ukuthi itraffic yona ngathi iningi ngalesikhathi ngesimanga sokuthi umgwaqo lo iBree Street uvaliwe emva kokuthi kuqebuke umhlaba okusho ukuthi imoto azikwazi ukuhamba ufanele uphinde futhi ukukhumbula ukuthi lo mgwaqo lo yalo ubalulekile kulaba abasebenza emkhakheni wamatekisi ngesimanga sokuthi abantu abaningi uma bengakwazi ukuthola amateksi ezobamikisa lapho ebeya khona eBree fanele bathathe enye itaxi bamikise eMTN rank nabanye futhi abangakwazi ukuthi bazigibele amateksi azobamikisa lapho besebenza khona noma lapho beya khona eMTN fanele baphinde futhi bagibele itaxi iphinde futhi bamikise ngapha eBree so la mgwaqo lo yana umgwaqo nje obalulekile kakhulu emkhakheni wamatekisi sizobona nje ukuthi mhlambe bazosebenza kanjani ukuze bakwazi ukuthi bathathe ama commuters noma abagibeli babamikise lapho efanele baye khona kodwa siyabona ukuthi mhlambe izinhlelo zingase ziphazamiseke kancane kodwa futhi sifanele siphinde futhi sikhulume ngemayelana nenkinga yemali ukuthi imali mhlambe eyokuthi amatekisi alungiswe noma phindele futhi eindleleni asebenze kuzothatha isikhathi singakanani nokuthi osomabhizinisi labo abasemkhakheni wamatekisi bazothi uma bebala namhlanje noma mhlambe uma kuphela inyanga lento ekuthiwa ama losses noma bazolahlekelwa imali engakanani njengosomabhizinisi kodwa nje njengamanje silindele ukuthi sizothola ibriefing la ekuthiwa icommand council command center rather lapho kuzothola khona wonke imbiko siyaunderstand sesizwile ukuthi kuzofika uBanyaza Lusufi upremier wala eGauteng siyazi ukuthi nalabo abavela emkhandlwini waseJohannesburg njengomeya waseJohannesburg bazofika bonke nabo babe khona lana siyazi ukuthi nabanye futhi ababalulekile abafana noMEC noMMC bazofika njengoba sibabonile befika nayizolo ebusuku kodwa ke njengamanje asikazi ukuthi imbangela eyenze ukuthi kuze kuchephuke lo yamhlaba iyini kahle hle besike sezwe kancane kuthiwa kube khona a gas leak okusho ukuthi kuphume ipipe elihamba ngaphansi komhlaba eliphethe igasi kodwa ke na ngathi igoli gas ithe yona iyayiphikisa yonke le mibiko le ekhulunywayo nabo imoto zabo ngizibonile sizozama futhi ukuthi sikhulume nabo sithole kabanzi ukuthi kwenzekeni and mhlambe bekuyini imbangela kuneyinhlolo futhi ezokuthi mhlasimbe lo into eyenza ukuthi kuchephuke lo mhlaba into eyokuthi mhlambe kukhona lento ekuthiwa phecelezi ngesingisi illegal mining eyenzakalayo okusho ukuthi kukhona abantu abaqhumisa iziqhumane ngaphansi komhlaba ngokungemthetho okwenza ukuthi ngaphansi kusale kungenalutho ube subona umhlaba usuvele uwehlela phansi uqhephuka njengoba sibonile kodwa asazi ukuthi ngabe iyona yini leyo imbangela eyalento yenzeke izolo sisafuna ukuzwa kahle ukuthi imbangela kahle hle iyini eyalesimo esisibone senzeka izolo
Balenhle sizwileke nokuthi ukhona umuntu oseshonile lapho ngabe ikhona yini imininingwane ke bese niyitholile mayelana nalo muntu oshonile
njengamanje njoba ngisho ukuthi silindele khona leyo media briefing lezo kwenzeka nje kungekudala sizohamba nje sithi nje ngikhombise nje futhi ukuthi njoba nje ngizocela nje ucamera person wami ukuthi anikhombise nje ucamera person engisebenza naye rather ukuthi anikhombise ukuthi yilapho ke kuzobe kukhona ibriefing njengoba ubona nje abantu bayasondela bavela kuma department ahlukahlukene khona la eGoli enzela ukuthi akwazi ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi sithole imlayezo mayelana nalabo abalimele nokuthi mhlambe sebelimele bangaki abantu bathola abantu abangaki ukuze kulunge konke khona lana
Mbali mangabe ngingabuza njengoba ulapho phela ngiyabona ukuthi anikho lapho
ngeke kuhambe nangu umeya sengimbona undunankulu wala esifundazweni sala eGoli siyamcela nje sicela nje ukumntshontsha kancane akasondele uKabelo kwaManda siyamthola nangu siyabonga bhuti ukuthi ukhulume nathi meya ukuthi ukhulume nathi nje asilana sikhuluma isiZulu ke asikhuluma isingisi namhlanje bese cela nje usichazela kabanzi ukuthi njengoba kuzoba khona imedia briefing sizothi yiliphi ulwazi singalithola nje
sawubona kuwe Mbali sawubona nakubabukeli ulwazi esifuna ukushare nama residents ukuthi the work that has been done until now, what has been detected to have been the cause, because we do not want to find ourselves in a situation where we are playing a blame game and nobody wants to take accountability of what may have happened. It was critical for us to establish whether or not it was a gas explosion, of which at this point I can confidently say that it was not a gas explosion, because Ekhaya gas, through their assessors, have given us a report indicating that it was not indeed a gas explosion.
Okay, ngicela nje uyibamba lapho nje ne sizophinda futhi sikhuluma nesingisi kodwa nje ngicela ungabsuki la nje konje nje kodwa phecelezi nje obesechaza nje ukuthi according to lento ekuthiwa yi-preliminary investigations bayakwazi ukuthi babone ukuthi akuyona igas noma igasi ekube yimbangela eyokuthi kuqebuke umhlaba, kodwa uthi igoli gas ishilo nayo futhi yachaza ukuthi igasi yabo amapipe abo ngaphansi komhlaba ase-right asahamba kahle ukusho ukuthi akuphumanga lutho lapho. So njengamanje njengoba esho ukuthi kuzoba khona ulona nangu no premier esefika nkosiyami ngathi ukube kuthiwa ngimbonile khona sokwazi ukuthi sigijime simthathe ngaphambi kokuthi angene lapha phakathi, kodwa sizomlinda ke naye kena okwamanje angiziphindisele kunini intambo lapha e-studio.
Sibonga kakhulu kumbalenhle kwaMthetho ngokusicoshela ngodaba lwaseBrim Mbukeli. Njengamanje indaba nje lapha SABC Mbukeli izokhu iqhubeka usuku lonke nje ukucoshela lo liyadaba, so bathola no premier kwezinye inhlelo ze404 kanjalo ke nezinye ke ezasemini zolwimi lwesiXhosa. Okwamanje nje Mbukeli asithi shwi 8 dolo, sizobuya emva kwe 8 dolo.